All right. Are we live? Hey guys. Welcome aboard the Just Ty Now, the Side Ty live stream with your host Ty. Hopefully you're having a wonderful morning, evening, night, midnight, special, whatever time this is coming at you guys. Like this energy now that we all in the same boat, we can start the conversation. Hey guys, I'm gonna let the room fill up a bit, but what we got today is a trip report. Hold on. Let me do this real quick. All right, we back. All right, we back. We live. All right, I had to tune off for a bit, share the link, but hey, like this video, subscribe for more. But just time for those new to the channels, when you combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles, and let whatever come out just come out. As y'all see, we got the microphone today, so let me know when if y'all jump in, if y'all can hear me or not. But I got the this is pretty cool, some cool technology. I'm gonna get the stand and stuff up a little bit. But I mostly just wanted to talk about a mushroom. Well, before I get into any of this, the side tie, the just tie, this channel does not promote the use of illegal or legal substances, plants, or drugs, anything. Do not copy or recreate anything that you hear or see on this channel. What you do at your body is what you do at your body. This is for harm reduction purposes only. And this is just comedy. This is just a story. You don't have to believe anything that I'm saying. This is just Todd. Just think about these things. That's all. All right. So 3 days ago or 2 days ago, I had a mushroom journey trip. I had a mushroom journey trip. It was psilocybin LNI, which is about 2-3 times more potent. I just say this so that we can all stay on track and potency for the records and things like that. But it's about I did about 1.3 grams in a tea, and compare psilocybin LNI compared to cubensis, golden teachers, or penis envies, these other strains, or B plus albinos, and all these other strains of cubensis that's out there. This one is about like they say 3 times, 2 to 3 times more potent on a potency scale than that. So that means you go deeper into yourself. You go deeper into what's going on in your mind when compared to it's just like other drugs, like any drugs that it has the milligrams and things like that. This the brings you to different realms or brings you to different realms and realizations and harmonies and things within yourself. And that's a whole other story too, because psilocybin LNI, they grow on wood chips, not on cow shit or in the or just in the lawns and things like that. So a lot of people say that deal with mushrooms a lot, and I'm seeing this for myself because I dealt with cubensis during my first trip in the past, like a couple years ago, and I've been running across psilocybin LNI for a while. Um, so would they say that wood mushrooms that love wood chips and things like that, they are more, I don't know, it's like a they more heart of a teacher or something like that. I don't know. But I've been comfortable with them. They have been showing me a whole lot of revelations. That's how I was able to bring to y'all to just tie all the thoughts that I have to y'all today. It's my integration of all the experiences that I've been having with these mushrooms, and it's been very beneficial. It's been very beneficial, and the road ain't easy. The road ain't easy. It's not like, oh wow, I see a butterfly. Now my whole life is painted with butterflies and fairies and things like that. What I mean is that it brings about situations that need to be handled with that seems though they would have never came up until I was probably like 40, 50 years old, and it was like, man, I have all of this stuff around me now. Let me just think about my heart for a minute. Why am I still feel hollow on the inside? Oh, let me call this person. Oh, let me apologize. Or let me work with this person in this way now. But now it's like, hey, I still got my voice. I'm healthier than ever. Back posture right. Yoga's feeling good. Back bend's getting bendier. So, so it's good. It's good. It's cool to start. It's cool that I'm starting now. But to get into this trip that I did, of the psilocybin LNI, and I made it into a tea so that it can not have that much disruption on my stomach, which I'm gonna get into. And it's a note that the stomach thing for me, I'm seeing that was a bunch of nervous issues as well, and I'm gonna go into that as well. But yeah, I take the tea. So this what happens, and this is a story of healing, of me pushing past a lot of stereotypes or programs that was in my own being and my own AI, which I call this artificial body being. I was pushing past a lot of things that's just in me that I was aware of, and it's a lot of things that I'll be aware of. And I see other people. I was like, "Oh, how do other people do it?" And they're like, "Oh, I went 20 years of therapy," or "Yeah, I grinded this out, and eventually it was over." I was like, "No, I think believe that these mushrooms can take care of this now. Can take care of this now." And even if that now stretches out, I know that now is a lot more current than the now if I would have never done this. So I was like, okay, let's strap in. Let's strap into this rocket ship. Let's go. Let's go. And yeah, I did do 1 gram, 1.5 gram. I didn't do the like 4 grams or nothing like that because I was like, I can go deeper later. I can go. I had the whole day scheduled out so that I can just dive into myself and not have outside distractions. So I thought. And but that's what I just believe, this whole internal reality of what's going on and set and setting is very important to set out your set and setting. But this is just my story, and things just happen. Things just happen. So what was happening was I take the tea, I'm rolling up about four L's, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sit in the backyard and things like that. But then I found myself talking to my talking to my girlfriend that lives with me, and she was saying, I was just explaining things to her about my mindset and how is I wish that you was here with me, and then it was just things that I wanted to explain to her, and I saw myself trying to explain things that I hear in my sober state, which I don't know what sober really is, because in this state when I do mushrooms, the voice that I hear in the back of my head is the voice that I hear just louder on mushrooms. It's like, and my voice is like how True Life be saying, if y'all check out his stories, that is kind of drowned. It's not drowned out completely, but it's put into a creative mode where if I want to say something, it's just really, it has to be expressive or woo or yeah, because anything else just seemed like it's some. But I was just trying to relate this, but coming up, this what I'm just saying this for setting purposes for other people to come up. I was doing something that I didn't. I was trying to explain things. I was trying to explain things to somebody that just wasn't in the same space. That wasn't in the same space that I was in. So it came to a point where I was looking at her and talking, and it seemed like it was something that it was. And this is 3 days later, so it's still, the story is a little more settled in my head. I was saying this on the other True Life page, story a little more in dramatic, but let's keep going. Let's keep going. Just think about these things. But I was looking at her and and I just wanted to explain. I just wanted to explain because I felt. Let's dive deep into every situation. I wanted to explain what was going on. I really wanted to explain and how I was feeling, the love I was feeling, the come up and everything. And I was seeing, and I was also just explaining in words how people psychonauts feel sad and things like that because people around them and their families are not able to like fully relate to what's going on and things like that, and to their mindset. And stay tuned. This side note, stay tuned because once I end this stream, I'm gonna start another one. I watched a movie called A Thousand Words yesterday, and that movie was like, wow, it was symbolizing a lot of stuff that I'm gonna go over. But I was trying to explain it, and I found myself like saying, yo, these the same things I try to explain in sober state. And that's why I feel so irritated about why you don't understand, why you're not catching on to it. But now while I'm in the state, I understand, but I still felt something in me trying to communicate. And then it was something that seemed like it was communicating through her at glimpses, like through words, and was telling me stuff to get me to go away. But it was weird because it was like in the saying of you like this, you like when you like doing stuff, well, you like talking about this stuff because you don't want to take off, you don't want to go off because of how stuff that was happening in your childhood or something like that. Because my mom and sister, and this is my family pair, I grew up around a lot of women, and they got into their drama. They got into their drama growing up in Philadelphia in the hood and stuff. Shit happens. Things happen. So then done clicked in me. I was like, you're right. Let me go to the backyard right now. So I go in the backyard. And before this, I go in the backyard. I'm looking down. I'm feeling the effects. I'm looking down, and the floor just feel like it's going down. And I feel extra tall. I feel tall. I feel giant. And I'm like, all right, this is, I feel cool. I feel cool. I didn't have any visuals at this moment. This is about an hour and a half in, an hour and a half in. And I go sit in the backyard. I play some, I play Bjork, Bjork with like a two dots over the R or the K or the E at the end, something like that. But she's from the Netherlands, and I was listening to her music called just her. She's got a lot of flutes and things going on, and she's it's like real opera like, but still real trippy. It just had you just like seemed like they created that music while they was in the space that I was in, and I was looking up at the trees, at the geometry of the trees, and just grounded myself because I felt a lot of grumbles in my stomach. I felt a lot of rumbles in my stomach. And I didn't have food in my stomach, and it was just a lot of nervousness going on, nervousness. And before I even came out, I'm gonna be jumping around because I'm just tying. I'm just tying. Cause and this is just a story for the help. This is just a story, my story. And I felt stuff coming. While before I left, I felt shakes coming in again, and a trauma, something came up because stuff, traumas and things from our past come up, so we can deal with it. And things was coming up saying, "Yo, you used to feel like this when you was in high school and when you was in middle school too." I used to like get so nervous that I would start shaking, or I would like had to put my head down or something of that works. And this was the same energy that I was dealing with right now, thinking that I wasn't being heard or that my thoughts or that I couldn't communicate my thoughts. So this was like, wow, I really felt like this all my life. And I remember back in college how I got, or yeah, around the college times, how I just let everything kind of slip away. I let everything slip away to the point where I was depressed and suicide and all this other stuff. And I was just something ticked in my brain, and yeah, now I'm back. I'm back. We talk about this a lot. But I got I got I was dealing with the pain. I was saying, all right, I'm gonna go sit in the backyard. And I was saying, all right, this what comes up in me. Like this is part of me that now I can see. I can deal with. So in the backyard, I was breathing, just doing the breathing exercises, breathing it slow, breathing out, just doing some cool breathing. What I be doing. And it was helping me put more attention on my nervousness and helping it just go away. It just like it's all gone. It's all gone. And I was just back in my space. I was back in the space that I wanted to be in. And it was like, yo, this is the I just kept having the feeling that this is a space that I always, because it was just 1 gram. It was like 3 grams in Cubans, but 1 gram Elena. But it was like, yo, this is a state that I can achieve readily if my environment is so set out. It's to set to be cool. Like the family straight, the food in order, just everything. And just me, I'm just able to access these rooms. But yeah, so I go in the bathroom and I look in the mirror because we have 3 mirrors. I have a mirror, yeah, 3 mirrors, and you can split it up so you can see three of yourself. And I was like, all right, so I didn't still have visuals. So I said, I'm gonna just sit like this and like just look in the mirror and meditate and see what happened. My face started like looking more cartoony, so to speak, like more just cartoony, not so many highlights and things. I don't Not so defined. Oh wow, I didn't see any of these come up. Y'all been writing all this time. Hey, let me just go back real fast. What's up, you well? Peace, void. Yeah, because they take the heel all the time. Don't hold the mic too close, saying like better foot away. Yeah, I wish I would have read all of these. Okay. Eddie Murphy. Yeah, Eddie Murphy, that was cool. The Astro Way. Thanks for coming by. What's going on? Thanks for tuning in. Thanks new to the channel. She was using empathy connection. Yeah, I like a few of her vids. All right, I'm gonna hold the mic like, cause I wanted to know how this sounded with the mic. I'm gonna put it. Yeah, I don't really get visuals off of mushrooms. I was like, I just didn't take a much of my. Like, yeah, it was cool. I was able to I was able to see. I was looking in the mirror and I was breathing and saying whoever moves, let's play the game of let's see who moves first. And I swear, like I was saying, I swear one of them was moving. One of them like flinched. One of them flinched. I tell you. And but I was back on saying the my face was like changing. It was like it had like a cartoon like texture to it. And also when I started breathing a little more heavy, a little more deeply, and was focusing and getting in that zone. The wait, what happened? My eyes started lifting up. Well, it didn't start lifting up. It was just there. It was just there like this. And I just had the thought when I looked in the mirror. I said, "Is my eye always that crooked?" And is my eye always that? I said, "Oh yeah, yeah, oh yeah, yeah." And I had to remind myself of what I actually just did. That's how apparent it was. No, no, I'm gonna figure it. It's cool because I can't hear it back, and I don't want to be salty and look back on all of this and be like, "Oh shit," because I've done that plenty of times doing the green screen stuff. I feel you. That's the energy that I was having then. And that's the yo. That's why you said that because I had that thought before I started. I said, yo, this would feel like I'm on a stage doing a presentation or something like that. Like so, we're here today on Thai Talks, like where we talk that Thai. Fuck a TED Talk, but no TED Talk. Shout outs to TED Talks. But yeah, let's get. So yeah, the skip. So I was dealing with a lot. I was dealing with a lot of jumping back into this world. It's psychedelic ill. I took Astro Way, bro. I knew that was you. I knew that was you, psychedelic ill. I was about to say psychedelic ill at first, but then I said, wait, that picture is different. Wait, that don't say psychedelic ill. That say Astro Way. Hey, what's going on what's going on the Astro Way? And we all changing up. We all changing up. All evolving, all evolving. Tapping in. What's up, Saho? What's up? I mean, Sahi. What's up, Sahi? It's all good. It's all good. Just talking about the mushrooms. The mushrooms. But so I was going through. I was seeing how I put a lot of pressure just for the tires. It was like I was seeing how I put a lot of pressure on myself to take care of my family. But that's just what I feel. I'm like not going to say, oh, I'm not going to deal with that. But I can see how a lot of people that's not comfortable with responsibility when they start dealing with psychedelics, how they get too loosey goosey and just run away from their families and things like that. Because I have somebody that I think is like that. I mean that I know is like that in my girlfriend's side of the family, and also even closer than that. And the thing that's been holding me back from taking these big doses is the people that has always jet life that has always been around me, like close to me, that I have been helping, that I've been dealing with just in life general, because it was a family member that came to from Philadelphia to from Philadelphia to California to live with us for a while. It was a family member, and she was here for a while, and it got weird because I was doing mushrooms and microdosing LSD and stuff a lot. So I didn't know. So I was feeling a lot of vibes. I was really into a lot of the stuff that I talk about now, that I'm like reporting to y'all about now. But it was all my experience of being able to see a person and see what was going on in their head in a way that if I just talked about it, it would be like, yo, shut up. Or what are you talking? It would be so defensive because it's just like it's intrusive. It's intrusive. And I was trying all these different techniques, but it got to a point where she didn't want me to even say hello to her, hi to her in my house. And I was like, yo, this is weird. This is tripping me out. Did she go through a psychedelic journey and she's seeing something in me that's just not right? And it's like she calling it out, and I'm just not holier than thou like her, because she would like wear the same clothes every day. She wouldn't eat a lot of certain foods, and she just kept away from a lot of things that was going on. But it was done in such a way that she didn't want to talk about anything other than nothing really. Nothing really, but Yeah, that's how it was. So it scared me out of going into. I had to be something other than psychedelics. Some trauma probably came up, or probably came across. That's why you have to test your substances if you run across LSD. Mushrooms is cool because you can't fake a mushroom. Or you still want to know if it stains blue and stuff like that. But you can fake MDMA, you can get fake LSD, you can get fake DMT, and it can fuck you up. So something like that happened because then the more I was sure of myself, and when I go into these journeys myself, I see that I was beating myself up and feeding myself lies, like period, just to get past this right now. I was feeding myself a bunch of lies, and it messed up my life a lot because I was confused trying to convey the thoughts that the psychedelics was giving me still through people like family, like I would call my grandmom, or I would try to talk to my girlfriend that not having these experiences. So it would twist my point of view because I would be like, yo, am I wrong? Am I just like a drug addict? Or is like or am I really on to some truth? But this what this sage getting to me. Hold on. Drying out my throat. But this trip has taught me a lot about understanding. Understand, that's why I titled this Mushroom Trip Understanding, and also music, because the music was cool too. I shied away from it because of the stuff that was coming out, and I didn't want to manipulate people like a lot of these other artists that get a hint of truth. But my pain is my pain. But it's for me to deal with. But yeah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So that's all. This is just all the world that this trip was bringing out of me. Like this is all what was part of the trip, and I was either in this world or I was thinking about that, or I was out of this world thinking about just try to focus on the colors and what extraterrestrials and aliens. Some people don't try to help self or listen to what trips tell them. Yeah, I see that a lot too. Even when in the science community, some people that take psychedelics, they say, "Oh, it was just a chemical reaction going on in my brain that caused me to hallucinate reality based off my imagination." It get it's wild. It's all about how I think it's all about how deep you go and how willing you are to let go of concepts. Because once you let go of a concept, once you come back to it, you come back. You sometimes you come back to it in a whole nother way, and sometimes you just abandon that way. But just staying in a way is in a way. Staying in a way makes things stay in your way, so that you're not able to keep going. Feel me? But yeah, I think that's so silly too. It's like everything is already inside your head. Oh, everything is within, and that's where I wanted to go. That's where I was going to, and I just felt just on a tie tip. I just felt at home. I was like, oh, I'm back. I'm here, and I feel like this. I feel like this at times too when I go to the gym, and because after the gym I do yoga in the sauna. I mean, in the steam room, and then I do it in the sauna, and then I do like relaxation in the sauna and stuff like that. And I achieve these states and meditation things, but it seems like once I go back into dwelling into the world that I'm creating for myself, it's like, oh gosh, I gotta. It's just a lot of work. And thanks y'all for tuning in and listening because y'all, this is helping me with my work. It's helping me talk these things out, get it out, and move on. Like this iPad has a crystal in it. I see this as me uploading my trip into a crystal so that it can be downloaded and there for reserved so I can go back into it whenever it's needed or somebody else can. No, thank you for having this all. Hey, this is just Ty, just Ty, just Ty. But the trip gets wilder because my after a while my girlfriend left to go pick up to go to my daughter, and I thought they was going to the carnival and things. That's another part that comes up later. I thought it was going to be going longer than they thought, but this kicks in because it showed my psych that we all in tune with our intuition, and you can really see what be coming up. You just gotta accept it and not be so angry about it, and then be like, "Oh, I told myself." But when when she left, I said, "Man, I want to go deeper." Like the mushrooms seemed like they was calling me. How people put it, it just that voice that people hear just seemed like it's me. Like, oh, I just want to take more. But it really, you could put it in terms like the mushroom was calling me to take more. I wanted to go deeper. I wanted to go back in. I wanted to see what was going to happen. Because I kept saying to her, I said, I wanted to face this anxiety. I wanted to face all these things that keep making me not be able to be as expressive as I can in my every freaking moment. Like, that's what I wanted. I said, and I was like, I see kind of what it is right now. Now I just want to go at it. And I don't want to attack it. I want to just see what it is, give it a damn hug for once. But I have to fully push it out of myself so I can hug it and then bring it back in. So I go in the room, I light some sage inside of here, still burning right now. And I put on some ambiance music. What is that? The Apex Twins. Apex Twins, I think that's the name of it. So it wasn't really a doom 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 doom. At first, I was trying to play Spango and things like that, but I don't know if I wasn't deep enough in my trip where I was just like, oh god, I was just like, I guess I turn this off. It just seemed kind of silly, so I turned on ambiance music where it was just like, oh, just like somebody hitting the synth board, the key, and then they hit another key like the whole 2 minutes later, just changing up the vibe every 2 minutes. So I was just listening to that, and I had the fan going for the heater, laid back, tied blindfolded myself. And I was saying like, yo, I did this my first mushroom trip too to go deeper. I was like, yo, I'm blindfold myself so I can be dark, just be where I want to be, just go, 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 go. So then I was after I kept going deeper, I was lighting up, smoking a little bit, just seeing, just going and going. I lived in Muslim Nasib music is really beautiful. I'm gonna look that up. Just screenshotted that so I can remember. But I'm gonna look that up. What? I just got an email saying, "Do physicists understand God?" But um, they understand the God of number. That is a God energy. Oh, what's going on? What's going on, Sock Sham? What's going on? Thanks for coming by. So I have while I'm going into this trip, I'm like I want to clear things out. So then I'm going deeper and deeper into the trip. And what I mean by deeper is the frustrations, the worries, the plans that I probably have or just thinking about what was just happened and then 10, 20 minutes ago just all disappears. It all just fades away into the distance. Just fades away. So then while that's happening, I'm like, all right, I could turn this music off. And then I was just had another minute. Sorry, I'm gonna turn off the fan. So now it's just me and my thoughts and as much silent darkness as I can conjure up right now. So I was going in there and I started hearing music. Like I can't remember the visions that I have. It was just I don't know. It seemed though it was the same daydream that cause I daydream a lot with my eyes open. Like I could just be standing there like and then somebody would tap me, or my girlfriend would tap me, and just be like, what were you?" Or not tap me, just so called tap me. That's just how I see it in my head. She's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I was just going through a story on if these two people met and they did this and this, that, and the third, this, that, and the third, as they say." But yeah, I felt as though I was just there. I was there in my daydream land, just jumping on blocks. It was like square blocks, square silver blocks, and I just jumping higher and higher. And I started hearing music. I started hearing music, like I want to say techno music or just electronic music, and it was different beats. And it was just cool because it wasn't no distraction. Like I was there. And when I would talk, or I mean, when I would think a thought, it will come out in music. It will come out in lyric form. It will come out as a voice that's not the voice that you hear now. And I go through this on my daily basis too. That's why when I look back and watch these videos, I'm like, or at this point in time now, I watch so much videos, I kind of got a clue. But still, I'd be like, yo, that's how I sound. That's like what? Because the voice when I was talking or just whatever I had to say, it was played out in a musical form, and it was like a high pitched girly voice. It was a I don't even remember all of the voices to be honest, but it was like my voice was being put through different filters, and also just pure just pure joy. It was just I was happy. I was happy. That's how I can describe it. I felt happy. And I'm trying to stay away from terms like I felt one with everything, like it was my first trip or something. I'm trying to stay like break it down. Um, so it was a lot of hyper feelings where I can generalize it and be like, oh, I felt love and every. But I'm trying to break it down for this documentary right here, for this comedy, for this divine comedy. Shout outs to Dante. Um, so I started hearing music and things like that. And I was saying, man, I want to paint a pretty picture for my life. I want to paint a prettier picture. And it was saying, yo, well, paint a picture. So then I started seeing the sun and the moon. Check out my Instagram. I have it on Facebook too. I made a cool video of my mouth like opening up, but I had the sun and the moon behind me, and it was kind of a feeling of what I was feeling, what I'm about to talk about right now. And that was that I saw the moon and the sun, and I wasn't even no logic in my brain to say, oh yeah, that's the moon and the sun, and that means this and that means this. It was like, wow, that's moon, sun, moon, sun, same. Wow, just it was just I would just be holding it. I would just be holding it and just taking in whatever it. Like when I'm in these spaces, I try not to think too much, but sometimes I try to think too much, but I try to just let things happen so that the download can happen, so that I can think about it, so I can tie about it later. I try to just observe and just see what happened, not be so bewildered by everything and be like, "Whoa, why is this?" It's just like, "Oh, okay, yeah, I seen this. I didn't see this coming, but cool, cool. This is I know this is cool." Um, I know this is cool. So that's what was going on with that. I'm trying to think of some other things that was happening. Could it be the gesture that made you so you don't catch everything else? So you don't catch everything else? Yeah, I think it's, I don't know. It could be the jester. It could be a jester. Always showing us something, but I think the jester is always kind of around me. And sometimes I even think that I'm the jester, but I don't know. I don't know. I never went so deep enough in the realms that I had a clown or jester literally pop out in front of me. So I don't want to put too much logic on it, but it's just what I that's just how I be feeling sometimes. That's why I like comedy. That's why I love comedy. It's like, oh, you thought that was painful, but it's really just funny. You're just living in that pain, and you think that whole pain is your whole experience, but it's really not. But yeah, how that goes. That's just how that goes. But that was another thing. I started putting my hands. I put my hands on my throat, and I put my hands on my stomach. And I was saying I wanted a healing to happen. Like whatever I wanted to be able to talk. I wanted to be able to like have this throat chakra, all that blueness. I wanted to just focus on that and all that fire that was going on. I wanted to be able to be tamed, or not tamed, but just be able to let it do what it does without feeling as though it has to be retamed, or without burning out at the same time. Or so I was just whatever happens, what was happening. So I just felt cool doing that. I felt cool doing that, and but looking back on it, I see it as a practice because you see people that say, "Oh, that lay hands on people," and you hear shamans and everything like laying the hands. It's like, "Oh, that's some bull. That's some BS. That's some BS." But I think when you are connected, and this is just for yourself. I'm not even trying to say go out and do other people or me, but for yourself, when you're in these realms, I believe you can heal your body. You can really do it. I remember during my first couple LSD experiments, I remember thinking that I can heal my knee because I wanted to like sit cross-legged a lot, and around those times, around 3 years ago, my knee would be the thing to stop because I skateboarded a lot, and a lot of knee stuff be happening from jumping off shit. But I had the feeling I can heal my knee, and now it took a while. It took a while. It took some time in this reality, but my pain, I can sit and everything. So much so that now I don't have to I've moved from focusing on my knees not hurting to focusing on my back not hurting to when I meditate. And now my back is cool. And now I'm working on getting my shoulders a little more square. It's like I'm literally working my way up my body. So it's pretty dope in that respect. It's pretty dope. So when it comes to healing, it felt I was healing a lot of nervousness, and things, and just pressure just going out. And I can't remember what was going on. Oh yeah, they actually came back, and this was like a psychic, just in terms, this was like a psychic intuition moment. I heard my daughter's voice in my head, and then they came knocking on the door. So I was like, all right, uh, I'm starting to trust in that. In my everyday life, I'm trusting in my instincts more and more, more and more and more and more, to even the point where I'm starting to believe in. Well, I always did believe in it, but like, besides the sleight of hand, the things that David Blaine, the things that Dynamo, and the things that these magicians that don't even want to, these stage magicians that don't even want to be on TV are doing. Like, I know they got the wires and all that other stuff. Trust me, I know that. But when it comes to like literally knowing, picking a memory out of somebody's head and all that other stuff, and it's cool. Yeah, the gut intuition. And the thing about it, it seems as though it's being my first intuition. It's like it's my first thought. And if I relax enough, then the other thoughts that try to contradict it won't get in the way. And I was like, is that, and that's where a lot of things that was coming from in me, where I was saying silence is something that I want to, that I'm being for, that I'm moving into experiencing a lot more. Like, just talk and let it all out, but sometimes, but in regular life, just silence. And that's why I want to tie later about on another video about the Thousand Words movie I ran across, where Eddie Murphy was, if he said 1,000 more words, the tree was gonna lose all his leaves and he was gonna die. It was a real trippy movie. I was like, wow, wow, wow. But but yeah, but I was saying, I'm minimalism is probably in my path, but I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was just thinking about everything like, yo, that's why minimalist is starting to exist now in pop culture, because people are experiencing these things and they like, I want to keep this up, but I like to do a lot of things, so we'll see how that goes. But yeah, I'm saying, but another thing, living minimum is cheat code. Yeah, that's what I was. Living minimum is cheat code. That's that's how it's. That's you put it right. Sorry, that's it's a cheat code. It's like I don't have nothing else to say, but no, I want to be able to think about everything in the most holistic way, so that I'm still able to exist in this reality and not just be like I'm a monk on the mountains and I don't do nothing but sit here. Y'all don't understand it, but I like it. They know they want to get up and do something. That's why I see monks sometimes with cell phones nowadays. And people like, yo, what you ain't no monk. Like, you still don't understand the way. But yeah, when it came to the music, to jump back to the music, I used to, for the record, I used to hear music in my head all the time. And I used to say, I used to be able to move beats around in my head, structure it, or just play it out. Cause I used to had a lot of time waiting for the bus. I had a lot of time by myself growing up, a lot of time growing up. And that's why I'm happy that these psychedelics are allowing bringing up memories so I can know what I was doing. And because it seemed like all of that just washed away, and the memory of my childhood and stuff, it just seemed like it was taken away from me for some reason. But it's coming back. But I was saying that I used to have music come to me all the time and beats and everything. Like, and I used to just be jamming to it. And I used to have visions about me meeting certain different people and things like that. But past that, it was music. And this trip reminded me of those times waiting for the bus. But it was just happening all around me, because it was just happening. So I was like, oh wow, this is the realm that these big music producers, probably like Odeska and Gaslamp Killer, that's somebody else I like. And mind you, I don't listen to electronic music that much during the day. I don't listen to that music period that much during the day. Sometimes I listen to Bjork, or sometimes some Flight Boss music, or just it's here and there. I listen, but so it's not like I'm just saying this for the record. It's not like I would just listen to electronic music and then it was just playing back in my head. If anything, Flight Boss music was playing in my head, and I was trying to I was doing my best to get out lyrics at some point. There's a video on Vice. This guy takes shots and sympathy play. I'll take shrooms and sympathies plays inside of him. Oh, I saw that video. Um, well, I'm gonna keep that there so I don't forget what I was saying because I get off track a lot. But yeah, I was seeing how they go, how I'm able to go into these realms, and it only, and if I wanted to be, take the years to be a professional, I'll be able to do that, like make the beats and things like that. Cause I have tried in the past, I have done some, made some beats and things like that, and when I try showing them to people, they say, "Yo, this sound like video game music." Cause I always tried to make hip hop beats and stuff like that, and they always say, "Oh, this sound like it's a video game or something." So, no, I just know that this realm is real. This realm, and I think it's messages encoded in these in the frequencies and things like that. And you can hear it talk if you're in the right state of mind. But first side he said there's this Vice video. I saw that video. That guy doesn't even take the shrooms. It's this old guy. He lives in Europe somewhere. That's a big I think London or UK. But he sits next. He's an old guy. He's been doing it for years. He sits. He'll pluck a mushroom. He just has to sit next to it or hold it, and he hears sympathies, music, music, and sympathies in his head. He hears whole music, and he knows how to write music notes and stuff out. So he's able to write out a whole thing and in like an hour or half hour. So he did it for Vice live on camera. I was just watching it last week. Is that's pretty wild, and I believe him. I really do believe him, because some people watch it say, "Man, that's just his magic." Well, it is his magic wand. Like, this is his source of inspiration. It is his source of inspiration. All these terms we use when we think about what artists are doing, that really is what is happening. We just put it in words and think that it's just the words. Like, oh, that's just a metaphor. That metaphor, it is a metaphor. That metaphor is something. That metaphor is a being. It's a translation being. That's something else, guys. We'll talk about that later. He said the asteroid said I could explain it if I tried, but life really does get spooky and surreal when you press on the moment. Did you ever notice this? Yes. When you press on the moment, and that's why I felt as though it was something talking to through my girlfriend to say that to remind me that I was kept on trying to explain stuff to her, because that's what I used to ground myself, and that I didn't want to press, like, go into the moment that I was hearing calling me. So I used that voice to push me. I was like, "Oh, this is." I was like, "This the jester," and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go push. I'm gonna go into this moment. I'm gonna go, and the deeper and deeper I go, the more surreal it is. Agent Smith's everywhere, you know. Yo, I had a video on Just Tie Now number 90 something, where I said the Agent Smiths, and I had to literally sit down on the bike path and just sit next to some flowers and may talk about my experience with the Agent Smiths. Check out that video, sorry, because I know you're new to the channel. I put that. I said exactly what you said. But yeah, the moment is always there. And when people, and it's so weird, cuz you'll think oh cuz you'll think that you always in the moment until you catch up with the moment. And then you're like catching up with the moment, but the moment is always supposed to be the present. And I am in the present right now, ain't I? But you gotta notice, if you're saying that kind of stuff, you just say, "Ain't I?" Like, it's some kind of, it goes deep. It goes deep. But surrealness is so cool. My art has turned out a lot more surreal. I've been using that, doing that a lot more in Instagram, but making actually some surreal art. Cause like, yo, this is how I'm seeing things. Like, this is how I see things. And seeing things is not with my mind. I mean, not with my eyes. And I'm literally seeing why, um it's just coming more of me becoming a magician, because I'm seeing what the shrooms pushing me to, because what I see is not what I see with my eyes. So when I talk, like, I can be looking at something and talking about something that I'm looking at, but I'm not really talking about what I'm looking at. I'm talking about something else. And it really is just layers. It really is just layers and layers and layers. And I'm seeing where I reside in myself, because um this trip relieved me of a lot of pressure because in the past I would feel as though I need to kill myself the 1,000 yard stare. That's it is just like but I would kill myself to try to explain things. That's kind of how this channel started. Not killing myself, but trying to find a way. Because I would try to explain to people stuff that was people around me, just simple things. And it just would be like, man, you're thinking too much. You're thinking too deeply. You're too emotional. You're too emotional right now, like a woman. Or you did your dad hurt you when you were younger? Did somebody touch you? Did it was like every single thing that was just not true, but it had me thinking about it. Like, did this really happen? Is this true? Is that? And these trips remind me of like things that I actually am aware of and of myself. They can be. Yo, hold on, let me close this window. They oh, I can actually bring the microphone with me. Mowing the lawns across the fence. That's the term I've been using. That's the term I've been using. Silly, just silly. Because in the past, I would say stupid. I was like, these people are stupid, morons, boulder brains. And that was driving me into an even deeper depression because I and I was those thoughts was just coming just to talk about the programming. Those thoughts were just coming from music and the culture that comes with music, because that's what you go through. But I'm happy that I actually went through it. I'm actually went through it, and that's why I'm able to talk about it because I experienced it. I experienced it. But yeah, it's silly. Eh? We all silly. We all talking some silly stuff. Like this is all silly what I'm saying to somebody. But I have to. This trip made me firm into knowing who I am, so that in my waking life, I'm able to correlate things more to my own understanding instead of trying to base it around somebody else's understanding. Because I get real in tune with people that I'm around, people that I'm around where I it's just I'm just in tune with people around. I just care for them and I love them on a level. I love them on a level. Just I know this, what however this sounds. I love them on a level that they don't recognize. Like they just like, oh, this just my friend, this my neighbor. But it's like, no, I really like if you need me, I got you. Or if it just in a way, cause not like I'm gonna kill myself for you, and that's what I learned. But it's just we all people, we all human, we all here together. We all just like, yo, you can talk about what you go through, or we can forget about all our problems and do this at whatever time. Is I'm just like that. I'm just like that, and I'm seeing now being like that, but also retaining in myself my personal strength, my own personal strength without giving it and feeding other people's voids. Because when a void feels empty, a void doesn't like to feel empty. Just put it like that. And it likes to feel fulfilled. So when it feels fulfilled and it's getting something, it doesn't want to be cut off. And me, I don't like to cut people, I don't like to cut people off. And these trips, and I'm seeing that's what was fighting me in these trips, and that's what I see in these stories that I'm gonna be coming up with, and then I already see just out in the universe where you see that the dad went too far out, or they say the dad wanted to be a magician, a musician, like musically and stuff, and he this 30, 40 year old man that just forgot about his family and did that, or in a wrinkle of time when the dad wanted to test her and he tested far out in the universe and got trapped and things. But he got trapped though. That wasn't his fault. But he forgot about his kids and things like that. So he traveled out far and he got messed up in his own realm of reality. So I want to be able to be fully correlated in this realm and in the other realm as I go deeper and deeper, so that I can bring back, or I don't know, it's not even so I can bring back as much, but I see that you're able to bring back more the more that you're stable in this reality. Like some people that's not stable in this reality, they take 5 grams, 4 grams, DMT something, and they don't know what happened. They just say, wow, wow, aliens, wow, or some colors, wow, and just that's about it. That's about it. There's nothing that can stay. There's nothing that can stay. So that's what I was told before about a mushroom itself. So that's what I'm working on. That's what I'm working on. So to conclude this trip, well, I went out once they got back home, and I got up from being blindfolded, and I saw them coming in my mind's eye, so to speak. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna go on a bike ride. I'm gonna go to this quiet place that I know where there's no cars, no people. And when I got there, it was some gorgeous cows. They were like 10, they seemed like 20 feet tall, 10, 20 feet tall, saying moo and stuff like that. I was like, wow, these are some majestic beings. I wanted to go up to them and pet them because they was one right next to the fence, but I didn't do that. But what I did do was I went near the water. I found a body of water and I just sat and I'm gonna sit with my thoughts and be cool. I was just experiencing the realm, just letting the vibes flow, just letting experiencing this state of mind, so that this state of world, this state of being, so that I can bring it back and it can and be encoded in my mind as just like so it can be encoded into my DNA or waking up more of my DNA through epigenetics. Because like epigenetics is how DNA changes in species, including humans, based off of their environment over time. And it can happen over generations, or it can happen right in one lifespan. And I believe psychedelics is and plant medicines encourage that because we're experiencing different realms. Like we're there all the time, but we're what so to speak, but we're just to put in this language where I'm experiencing another realm. So now, since have another experience, since I went to another country, since I went to another continent, traveled to the other side of the world, I'm able to and lived in another place, had different rules, different dimensions of things going on. I now have that experience unlocked in me. So I wanted to take that back as my reasons for going near the water. And water deal with feelings, able to wash away, just watching the current just go down. But it was a beautiful, beautiful. And if you want to see how this looks, check out some old Just Time videos from around this time last year or early around this time last year. Because I filmed a lot of videos in this spot. But the panorama view is just straight sky, just all around, because no buildings, just the mountains is real far, like a couple miles, just like a good 10 miles back. You can see the mountains, or no, like a good 5 miles back, not even that far. You can see the mountains, and it's just all flat before that. So it was all blue sky, just beautiful blue sky. I'm just taking it all in. I'm taking it all in. Like, this is life. This is what life is about. This is cool. Not like this is what life is about. This is all cool. And I was looking up at the sky and I saw a pink cloud appear. And it was like, I was like, yo, it was just no clouds here. Where the hell did that cloud come from? And I didn't want to think too much about it. Like, oh, that's just a cloud. I was like, no, I was like hyped up. I want to focus on it. I want to look on this. I want to look at this. So I'm looking at the cloud, and it's one big cloud. And while I'm focused on it, starts fading out. And I was like, in my head, I was like, all right, is it just fading out because of this bright blue background against this pink? And I'm seeing the blue overtake the pink. So I was like, no, throw that logic out the window. I want to see what's about to happen. I want to know what happened. Like, without disguise, is something trying to disguise itself from me, putting these distracting thoughts in my head? That's just what I was going through. I was like, all right, let me get this all out. So I pushed it out of my head and I'm keep looking at it. And then when I look back at it again at that thought, it broke down into it was two dots. Well, two dots, two clouds underneath of it. And I was like, oh wow, that's interesting. And I didn't want to say like, huh, too much. I just wanted to really just look at. I wanted to observe it so that I could remember. So then it burnt down again, and it was three. I write it. I'm gonna write it down real quick. It was like real simple. Real simple. It was like that. It was one big cloud on the top, then two, and then it broke down to three little ones. And I was like, did it really have to make a pyramid? Because this other part of me still not believing. I was like what? What? I was like, that's cool. That's pretty dope. And then something told me had caught my awareness, not my eyes, and said turn around. So I turned around. Oh well, no, the hawk feather that I actually had. It's not a vulture. It was a tall vulture. It was a tall vulture. Vultures are huge. Their wingspan has to be at least like 6 feet, and they're real tall. and it was just I turned around, vulture just gliding, and it seemed like I had a thought that it was going to just land right next to me, and I got spooked for a minute. But I was like, no, don't get spooked. If it want to land, it want to land. Hey, what's going on? But it was just floating on the trees, like floating from one tree to the other tree. It was real windy, so it was just literally just riding the wind. It was just gliding, just back and forth. It wasn't looking for food or anything because it didn't try to dive down or get it. It was just floating. I was like, oh wow. So looking at it, something was just telling me, or I was telling myself, however you want to say it, is that bird has consciousness evolved his body to the point where it can soar, where it actually has mastered the wind, where it actually has mastered the air. And this is what you're doing. This is what you can do. This is what you're doing. And I was like, and I didn't think nothing after that. I didn't have no thought to say, oh well, yeah, no. It was just like, huh? It was just like I just started flying in my mind. I just started taking off in my mind again. Like, okay, let's do it. And then the bird just disappeared. Like I thought it landed in the tree, or that it was. I didn't see it fly away. Like I was keeping my eye on it, just went around the tree, and then looked away for 1 second, looked back, and it was gone. I did look away for a quick second, but I was still. It was an open sky, so it was nowhere for it to like hide behind a tree, and I didn't see it for the second. It just whoop, just disappeared. Somebody in True Life Story said, that was the Thunderbird. Yo, all these comments be popping up, and I do not see them. I'm so sorry, guys. Yeah, you start fighting them, not doing. Hold on. Is there is that a painting of Bertie Sanders, Psychedelia 77? Thanks for coming in. Thanks for coming to the channel. No, this is actually a picture of Stan Lee. I got a video. I've been plugging my video to Stan Lee around the time where he transferred to another dimension. And it gets real trippy. It gets trippy. But Bernie Sanders is so-called running for president again. But the Astro Way has said, have you ever heard of psychedelic link between people? Yes, I have heard of the psychedelic link between people, but probably not in the way of psychedelic link, but the connection that can be between two people. I want to say a person because it's just a person at that point, but but it's something that I always wanted to experiment with. I always wanted to experiment with because when I look at people on the big stage, like on America's Got Talent and things like that, where a couple that's not well known will come up and be transferring thoughts. Like she will hold an object in her hand, and the husband or the somebody else would say say what she was holding in her hand or something like that that somebody else randomly put in her hand, and just a lot of thing connections that I see within myself that is like, yo, why are you not communicating back with me? Why do I gotta talk? Why do I have to talk? I grew up not talking a lot. If you ask my mom and them, that's why she claims I'm so expressive now. I say it's because the mushrooms got me talking. But she says it's because I didn't really talk. I was expressed growing up, but I didn't really use words that much growing up. I would just like look at people. And I remember that. I do remember. I just had a vision of me in church looking at somebody. I mean, way back. But balance is key. How can I get these to stay up? Like, stay up. Don't go away. Chat. All right, and they say, yeah, you have to find a balance. You have to find your balance and harmony. I'm on my way. That was a long time ago. Like, yes, there's no such thing as long time ago as on the Just Todd channel because everything is happening now, you know. But that was the trip. That was the trip. I learned a lot about silence and that about silence and how golden it can be, and how explaining things and how I was saying trying to over exuberate my feelings is needs to come out in other ways, in other form and fashions, like putting together stories and paintings and things like that. I'm working really hard on some on that tussle book that I told y'all about. I got some animation software on the iPad that's like, yo, I had this software all the time, all this time. It's like a lot of things at every trip. It seems like I have everything that I need already. Like even down to technology. It's just like I didn't have the mind. I wasn't allowing myself to use it. Like I ran around. I wasn't able to hook up this microphone to the iPad for so long, even though I bought this box to hook up the microphone to the iPad about 4 years ago when I wanted to make music. But for some reason that thought was not coming to my head to do it. And then when I was trying it before, the about a month and a half ago, the cord that I had was a cheap iPad cord. It wasn't a real one. So it didn't work, so I forgot about it again. But right now, at the trip, just popped up, said, "Yo, I got a new cord. Let's hook this up, see if this works." And it just happens. It just happens. The Astroway said, "For me, it's like when you do it, You're only able to read the underneath, like the heart side. You get the full awareness of person's feelings and intentions. I call reading someone's heart." Yeah, it is reading someone's heart, reading someone's heart, and that's why I say it's a lot on this channel that a lot of people are not connected with their hearts because the things that yeah, it's all good. It's just that the things that yeah, the connection I feel reading someone's heart. Yeah, that's why when I feel as though a lot of people not connected with their heart because the things that I talk about and the ways that I feel about them is the ways that I'm like everybody feels like this or everybody not should feel like this, but this is a way that a human feels, or this is a way that whatever I am and that we all are connected to feels. And you can feel like that, you can feel like that, but it's all up. Uh, in the end, just saying, it's all up to the individual. It's all up to the individual. And yeah, and it's this other guy, Ryan Cooper. He has a channel on YouTube, and he talks about astral projection and all these other things. And he was saying how this octopus creature in a dream or something taught him how to reach in, how to literally see televisions and vision, the store. I don't know the videos in people's head and stuff. But I kind of get this sporadically, and I got this a lot growing up. And it seems though for me, I pushed it away after high school or somewhere in there. I don't know, something happened, or I probably didn't, or I probably was like I didn't. That's why I like watching shows like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I show my daughter this show now because those kind of shows show me that I really am something else and I'm trying to be normal, or I want to be, or I grew up at a certain point or I try to be something else, try to fit in with the crowd, try to do this and do that, when really I have this whole magical life, this whole magical family, and it's just like that. It's just like that. Because it seems like it was the power that it was something I didn't want. I didn't want to see that people was not connected to their heart space as much as they can be, because it was like, yo, it's depressing me. Is I'm sad. I want to kill myself because I don't know how to help you. But now with these plants, I'm learning that the only way to so-called help other people is to fully to go into yourself. Go into yourself and see why it is that you felt like you couldn't help anybody in the first place. And then that just whatever happens after that. the, your story going through all of that is what's going to be cool. LOL, trying to be human like not you. I know that. LOL. I realize I must help myself and then others. Yep. And that's what they all say. And that's what we all hear. That's what they all say. You gotta help yourself before you help others. But it's like it get wild when you're not doing it so business like, and when you really are connected to other people's hearts, and I mean, or just see what other people are going through. It gets tantalizingly, but now it's like that irritation is going away. And I look at examples of people that I see now walking around. And this is just a term I use because it's black guys like this, Asian guys like this, But I live and ran a lot of white people, so I say when the white people that the old white guys that I around the woods with a smile, and there's some one guy I always see. He always just so pleasant and things like that, and it just seems like he has this whole world going on, but it's just like he just smiling, just like, oh yeah, I'm listening. Hey, yeah, cool. So make sure, like, it seemed like he always giving me this awakening something in me when he's talking because of the state of being that he's in already. I'm just saying, I have one particular guy in mind. He's a real cool guy. Gotta know how to swim in some way to help others going, to help. Wait, gotta UL said, gotta know how to swim in some way to help others going under. Yep, that's what we gotta do. Somehow, some way. That's why I appreciate the companies, the not the companies, but just with the people, the artists out here. I appreciate the artists, the animators, and the comedians and everybody out here that's just like, man, I'm just telling my story, or I'm just telling a story. Because that's what really awakened the hearts people. Because you gotta remember, people are living a whole life based off of the Bible and based off of other so-called holy writ books, and those are nothing but stories too, manipulated stories. That's why they getting manipulated, but it's all just stories. Right. So that's how it is. That's how it goes, guys. It's been nice. I'm about to actually go end this live, and I'm gonna start another one, just right back up. So I'm gonna talk about the thousand movie real fast, and we go on from there. So thanks for tuning in, guys. And to y'all guys in the future, y'all tires always just tie, just tie, just tie. Just think about these things and do not recreate anything that you heard on this channel. This is for comedic purposes, documentary purposes, harm reduction purposes only. These are stories. So with that, guys, we all tie. But do we really tie? Sometimes I don't know, dude. Sometimes I really don't know. Till next time, it's Ty saying I'ma catch y'all in about 3 minutes. Two, like literally 1 minute. Your whole life stuck in a PS3, never knowing the Xbox.